In the Pits is partnered with the Splat Zone Trinity 3-Man Paintball Series. The series, put on by Splat Zone Indoor Paintball, offers a fun and competitive opportunity for tournament play for players of all experience levels. Beginner, Division 5, and Open 3v3 X-Ball gives all players a chance to gather two friends and have some fun. Are you a beginner interested in playing, but worried your setup won't be competitive? Not to worry, Splat Zone will have several setups on hand for beginner division players if needed. The series is even investing in bringing my personal ref crew from outside the Houston area, guaranteeing that your experience that day will be run smoothly and fairly. Registration is live now for the season opener on Sunday, May 25th, so grab two friends and get signed up today. In the Pits is partnered with BEM Wraps. Behind every mask is a unique and creative player. Tap into it when you order your next custom headpiece. Their Build-A-Band lets you communicate with them one-on-one to make your order just the way you want, all the way down to the color of the stitch. Check out their Instagram at BEMWraps for drops and build videos of them working on orders. They offer very competitive pricing, so reach out today to get started on your own one-of-a-kind headpiece. In the Pits is partnered with 71 Designs. Owned and operated by veteran Wade Martin, and partnered with fellow Texas brand Compete. 71 Designs can take your ideas for soft goods, merchandise, and casual wear and make them a reality. Message 71 Designs on Facebook or Instagram to get started today. In the Pits is partnered with QBR. Are you seeking to heal and recover from the toll that paintball puts on the mind and body? QBR has the solution for you. Head to QBRofficial.com and use code PITS10 for 10% off of your order, plus free shipping. QBR, they don't sell broccoli. In the Pits is partnered with XTPL Events. The Extreme Tournament Paintball League is a series put on by the Lukow family of Paintball Fit fame that gives the opportunity for players to learn and grow together as a team. 3-Man, Challengers and Champions X-Ball, Draft Mech X-Ball, Super 7s, U3v3, even Glow-in-the-Dark Mech X. There's something for everyone at XTPL. Not to mention prize tosses, raffles, and the infamous paintball munching contest. Events happen throughout the year, and the prizes never disappoint. Sign up for an XTPL event today on PB Leagues. In the Pits is partnered with Hydra. Designed by players for players, you can outfit yourself in Hydra gear from head to toe. Have confidence that when you make a purchase from Hydra, you are purchasing a well-tested and well-thought-out product, trusted by several top teams, including World Cup Pro Champions Paintball Fit. I personally recommend their Hydra Black knee pads. Purchases over $100 receive free shipping. Head to hydra.fit to browse their selection and discover the Hydra mentality. In the Pits is partnered with Texas Pro player Jared Sherman. In a world where saving time means making money, Jared's local seed bank is making waves in Texas, carrying a large assortment of Texas-approved varieties for use in the Texas Hemp Program, seeds for novelty use, as well as premium genetics bred for solventless extraction. Jared Sherman has the ability to satisfy even the most sophisticated collectors. Head to his website and use code INTHEPITS for 10% off of your orders. In the Pits is partnered with Mariachi Águilas de Oro. Based in Austin and servicing the surrounding areas, these Golden Eagles will bring life to any event you are having, from birthdays, anniversaries, holidays, corporate events, or even a simple performance to enjoy. Guillermo Padilla, one of their trumpet players, is also a member of the Texas paintball scene. Visit them on Facebook and Instagram to check out some of their past performances, or give them a call to book them for your event today. In the Pits is partnered with the San Antonio 3v3 Paintball Series. The series provides local players with an affordable, fun opportunity to experience the excitement of tournament paintball and has already seen events sell out. I personally am the head referee for the series, and I can't wait to see you there. Visit SAT3v3.com for details on upcoming events, or head to PB Leagues to register your team today. In the Pits is partnered with Get Dat Shot. Get Dat Shot is a local Texas videographer with numerous events experience filming on the Major League Paintball Pro field. Needing coverage for an upcoming event? Message him at getdat_shot on Instagram and let him know In the Pits sent you. In the Pits is partnered with Paintball Kumite. Paintball Kumite is a program designed by Colt Roberts of professional team San Antonio X Factor to take paintball players of all ages, experience levels, and skill groups and mold them into champions. The program breaks the game down into small, easy to learn sessions designed to help you master the fundamentals so that you can elevate your game. Newcomers to the program get a free 1-hour introductory class when mentioning In the Pits. To sign up for a class, message at Paintball Kumite on Instagram. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to episode 138 of In the Pits Paintball Podcast. This podcast is focused on everything that has to do with the paintball scene here in Texas, from professional players and teams to new divisional programs, local tournament series, field owners, Texas-based brands, even photographers and videographers. Every week, we'll have a short and sweet episode with a new topic and new special guest. I'm Christian Dallas Smith. I'm a player for the Texas Titans. In this episode, we're going in the pits with Jet Isidro, a semi-pro player for Shock and MVP of the USXBL JT Open with Gulf Coast Ragtag Army. Jet, how are you doing this evening?
I'm doing great, Christian. Thank you for having me. How's it going?
It's going great. Yeah, thanks for coming on. I know this show typically features Texas-based members. I know you're not a Texas-based member yourself, but you had a stellar performance in USXBL. So I definitely want to give you your flowers there, and also talk a little bit about your background, because I feel like the pathway that your playing career has gone can be a sign for those newer players out there that are trying to figure out like exactly how they want to progress through the ranks.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, ask away. I'm ready.
All right, let's go ahead and get started. So this first question is brought to us by the XTPL event. So for those listening that maybe don't know about you, how long have you been involved in tournament paintball?
Tournament paintball probably since end of 2018, early 2019. I started out in California. I was like always moving with my family, so as soon as I was about to join a team in California, I moved to Vegas, and then as soon as I was about to join a team in Vegas, I moved to Florida, which I joined Dynamic and stayed with them for a very long time.
Gotcha. How old were you at that point?
I was born in 2000, so I just followed the year. So I started playing tournaments when I was 19.
Okay. Yeah, good time to start. That's about how old I was too. So what teams have you played for over the years?
I've played for a good amount, mainly guesting, but Dynamic for the 5 years, and then I played with Infamous on a D3 line, XPX, which is based out of Florida, obviously Shock now, and most recently Ragtag in the USXBL in Texas.
All right. I think the thing that I want to highlight there for everybody that's listening, Dynamic for 5 years straight. I think that's going to be a key thing that I want to highlight as we go through this episode. So this next question is brought to us by QBR Officials. So what was it that got you into paintball to begin with?
It was actually my friend from California. He was like my childhood friend. He invited me out to a birthday party, and I was like, sure, why not? It's pretty much how everyone starts in paintball for the most part. So after like my second time, I bought a whole setup, and I was hooked ever since.
Love it. The sure, why not? There's a lot of that energy that you need as you're going through paintball for sure.
Yeah.
And real quick for everybody that's in the chat, first off, welcome. This is our second episode here on Major League Paintball's channel. If you have any questions that you want to ask Jet, get them in the chat. We'll get to them kind of throughout the episode. I'll throw them up here on the screen. So yeah, your friend does your friend that got you in, does he still play or?
No, he stopped a long time ago, but he always has a story where he beat me in a one-on-one and he'll never let it go. So even if I go pro, it'd be like, oh, I beat that guy one time.
Love it.
So I'll give it to him.
Yeah. Just yeah, I love it. So this question brought to us by the San Antonio 3v3 series, which I'm the ultimate ref for, and the registration for the Blue Bonnet Open is up now, taking place on April 13th. So I believe that's what, like 3 weeks away now. So go get your team signed up. It's got beginner, D5, and open 3v3 X-Ball. So a place for everybody to play. So So Jet, what are some things that you have noticed throughout your playing career that have changed within the tournament scene, either for better or for worse?
I mean, I don't like nitpick all the little things that change, but I guess the most important things are just like the change in scenarios, like where the tournaments are based out of, like in Texas or Chicago or now Ohio and things like that. Like a lot of people wouldn't travel to some of these places where now you would, just because you're playing tournaments, and it's great for people that don't get to travel as much. It just brings them out of the house and gets them out of their environment and try new things and different foods and things like that. So I think the biggest thing is just new scenarios all the time. And it's great that we changed away from Texas being like the second event or third event of the year, where it's like always the rainy season. So now it's kind of like a good time, even though it might be a little hotter.
Yeah, yeah. Be ready for the heat. I know it's like mid-September when this event's going to be in Dallas, but man, that is some brutal temperatures. And I know like you're obviously from Florida and y'all deal with plenty of heat yourselves in that state. But man, everybody else that that been complaining about these beginning of May events, hey, you asked for it. Just remember that when September comes around. So yeah, I know your career, relatively speaking, I mean, you've been playing tournament paintball for this is your, I think, sixth or seventh year playing. Um, but what, like, I guess knowing that you started like pre-COVID, what were some of like the bigger changes that you've noticed that we haven't quite gotten back to?
Um, Bigger changes. There isn't too many big changes, honestly, that I've seen. Um, yeah, nothing that I've noticed that's too drastic.
Okay. Yeah, I know so like here in Texas, post COVID, there's definitely been a surge of new teams and new players. And a lot of organizations, like the big thing in Texas, I'd say the trend right now is that more teams are playing with more players are playing with organizations that have multiple lines. And I think that the organizations in general are sticking around a lot longer, and they're surviving past that second year, past that third year. Is that something that y'all are seeing in Florida as well, or has it always been pretty stable?
Yeah, that definitely, especially with our dynamic camp. Like, I don't know how familiar you are with dynamic, but we built out like D5 line all the way to D or semi-pro, but and we were consistent in winning with all those divisions. So yeah, I did notice a lot of like consistent teams staying with each other, but I feel like that's been a case for a lot of other teams too. I just wasn't aware of it.
Yeah, I unfortunately would say that I'm pretty familiar with dynamic. I say unfortunately because
Oh yeah,
I
you
play for
played against them.
the Titans. Yeah, we matched up against them four times last year.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, they're really great program. And I think part of the success that we've been seeing is due to like these players like sticking together for extended periods of time. I don't know about you, but whenever I'm doing like the initial scouting, like when the brackets drop, I'm looking at the rosters on PB leagues. The thing that scares me more than anything else is if I see a team where all of their players have the exact same points because they've all been playing the exact same events for so long. That tells me that team has been together for a long time.
Yeah, and for sure, yeah. And I mean, winning is contagious. So if you just stick with a team that's at least always in the podium, it'll make you stick around, and you
Yeah,
get better around people that you're always with. So chemistry and all that plays a factor for sure, with just sticking with them.
for sure. Yeah, and you're not having to relearn a lot of new things, like the systems, the calls, things like that. And this question, which is brought to us by our newest sponsor of the show, the Splat Zone Trinity 3-man series, go get signed up for their 3-man events hosted over at Splat Zone in Houston. So doing my research for this episode, again going back to like the key point that I want to highlight in your playing career is that you've played with Dynamic every season since 2019 up until this year. So how would you say playing with the same team, the same group of players for 5 years, how would you say it affected your development as a player?
Oh, it was like probably the biggest part of my career, honestly, because the most important aspect that's honestly a dying art is loyalty in paintball. Everyone's always getting poached, and there's like the semi-pro curse where as soon as you get the semi-pro, everyone wants to pick you up to either play pro or a better semi-pro team. So it's hard to stick with a team when like a golden carrot's dangling in front of you. So just sticking with the same team and just trying to get your footing with them is super important. And I've been approached by more than enough teams that I can think of. So it's definitely something tempting, but it's really important if you could just stick together with a group of guys that you can be great friends with. And honestly, like building friendships with those guys is something that sticks with you for life that's outside of paintball. So that's also important. Just like more takeaways than just having fun for yourself, you know?
Yeah, for sure. And this one brought to us by Bemrap. So having been with Dynamic for so long, I know that you like the poaching situation, especially when you're a talented player, is something that you're gonna have to deal with at some point. So what were the things that the Dynamic organization did that kept you around for so long?
Uh, I mean, the main part was my friendships, like with people like Brandon or Dreads, as most people know him, or my friend Matt Burkavage and Cyrus, who plays on Fit, which everyone knows now, apparently. That's my son, by the way. I'm just kidding. And Kevin, who's I'm gonna be a groomsman for next week at a wedding in Bolivia. So friendships are the biggest thing that kept me around, um, and also consistency with like winning. I think we won pretty much every single year that I've played. So that's a huge factor with wanting to stay because if you're not winning, then you're just getting like progressively worse and worse. So that's a big thing for me.
Yeah, absolutely. And congrats to Kevin on the wedding, on the marriage. So yeah, like looking here in the chat real quick, like kind of speaking to the friendships, you definitely have a lot of friends sounding off here. You've got Toast Malone, let's see, Jock Crispy, let's see who else in here. Jonathan Turner, RCVR1, Chill as Mo. Yeah, all giving you a lot of love. I don't know if you recognize some of these names in here. Kenny Brosh posting. You're gonna have to tell me a little bit about the gorilla emojis that I'm seeing in here.
That was a dynamic thing that it was a D5 thing that my friend Derek Rum started. It was kind of just like, oh gosh, I don't even know how it started, but it was kind of like us dominating everything was just like, like just in your face. I don't know how to explain it, but it's more of like a team lifestyle that we always promote, and now people
Okay.
like Cyrus always still promote it.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, the gorillas. All right, the spirit animal, let's call it, for dynamic.
yeah,
I can get
yeah.
behind that.
I've definitely sprinkled like some of those in our like flyers for tryouts, and I try to stick it in for jerseys, but it didn't land. It's all right.
I love it. All right. So brought to us by Mariachi Águilas de Oro. So talking to like winning is contagious, and you winning, you said like at least once every year, you made sure to put up a win in every division before moving up to the next one. So what advice would you give to others out there in the divisionals that do have goals to play a higher level, to play semi-pro at some point?
I mean, I think growing like in your rank is super important, just because you learn so much just from experience. Like drilling and everything takes you only so far, right? Like game awareness, situations, things like that, you all develop through experience. So I feel like rushing the process isn't something that I resonate with too much, just because you need to go through those hardships and those tough losses and those great wins. And it's kind of hard to get your footing if you just like throw yourself in the deep end sometimes, which some people flourish in, but it's not for everyone for sure. And some people get lucky and some people work hard to keep where they're at. But I think if you really want to stick to a team and go to semi-pro with them or try to go pro. That's, in my opinion, the hardest way for sure, but the best way and the most rewarding.
Absolutely. And I couldn't agree more. For those that listened to last week's episode where we did the USXBL preview, one thing that was said on that episode was there were a few teams that we saw this past weekend in the elite division that were comprised entirely of D4 or some like a mix of even D4 and D5 players. And I know when Robert Jordan asked, like, for example, TXL Fusion, who had a really rough weekend in Elite. TXL Fusion was playing D5 last year and they decided to bump up to Elite. And their reasoning was that they just wanted to be like kind of just dive headfirst, go into the deep end and trial by fire. But I like, in my opinion, like kind of echoing what you said there, paintball, there are so many levels to the game and there are so many lessons to be learned at every division. And the most valuable learning experience that you can get are Sunday reps. If you are just playing, like if you're a D4 team and you're just going to go up and play semi-pro for an event and you're getting 5-0 to every single game, you're not learning anything at all. There's just so many details and fine tuning that matter. And if you're just going to dive in like that, you really don't know where to begin. Whereas if you're a D4 team and you play D4 and maybe you're going 2-2 or you're going 1-3 at first, but you're getting wins here and there, and gradually you're going to learn what you did in order to get those wins, and then those build upon themselves, and eventually like you're gonna be making Sundays, you're gonna be winning playoff games, you're gonna go deep. But I can't stress enough like my feelings that like in practice, absolutely play better competition in practice, but at events is not where you need to be playing up.
Yeah, and I mean, I think Fit is the best example for that. Like they went from like AC Dallas, where they were all D3 guys because all the pro guys left, and they played pro. That drastic of a change is going to hurt them, and it really showed. And they were not ready for it, which is all right. Like they couldn't do much about it, but them fighting back and earning their pro spot, even though they lost it like once or twice, like just barely, it helped them grow, and it really shows that rushing the process isn't the best way to go all the time. Like so, there's those few moments where it's like, oh yeah, these guys made it work, but that's like the nail in the rough, or however that saying goes. Diamond
Right.
in the rough. There we go.
Yeah, and I think there's also like until you've been in the game at like these upper levels or put in enough time, there's not an accurate gauge of like just how much experience is required to even compete at a D4, D3 level. There's a lot of time behind the gun. There's a lot of time with teammates fine tuning things. And like I would say even the jump between the top of D4 to the top of D3 is a very big jump. Like I would say the only small gap in between divisions is probably between the top of D3 and the top of D2.
Yeah,
That's
for sure.
probably the smallest jump in paintball. Everything else is quite large, and we even saw it like heading back to this past weekend's event. There were a few teams um that earned their rank up. Like they won in Division 4. They won multiple events in Division 4, and then they struggled in their first event in D3. And that's just because like how tough of a jump it is.
hmm And there's also like some big jumps where it might have worked for you in D4, but there's new strategies and there's more people with more experience, or like there's sandbaggers. So there's a lot of factors that come into it as well with going to a new rank. So rushing the process would really hurt. And yeah, I agree. D3 to D2 is probably the smallest jump. I noticed that as well when I was going through those little phases.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, looking in the chat, we do have a question from one of my friends, Gabriel Hernandez, who does let's see what Gabe, remind me of your handle. It's I think it's Luxleaf Studios. And here's his question. He asks, do you have a question on like what, as far as what's too old to try and go pro for the first time? I mean, you're you know young, you're in your early to mid 20s, you're playing at a D1 level. But in your opinion, do you think there is like a upper limit as far as age to try and make that jump to pro?
Definitely not. I mean, dynasty guys are the best examples. Like they've been doing this for so long, where they're getting up there for sure in age, and they're still doing it just fine. So obviously they've been playing for a long time, so experience plays a factor. But in terms of being able to go pro, I don't think it's ever too late. As long as you have the heart and the drive, and you really want it, then it's doable for pretty much anyone.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, look, I think that a better example would be like the New Orleans Hurricanes when they went pro. They had a lot of guys in their 30s. And sometimes it's just like it takes that amount of time. But as long as you've got the group together and the experience as a collective, you can definitely pull it off.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And sorry if you hear some whimpering in the background. My puppy really wants attention right now, and she's making sure to make her protests heard.
It's all good.
So this next question is brought to us by Colt Roberts and his training regimen Paintball Kumite. So looking at the event this past weekend, you hopped on with the Gulf Coast Ragtag Army in USXBL's Elite Division, which is kind of a mix between Division 3, a little bit of Division 2 in there, and you guys took home the win. So how was your experience competing in Texas?
Texas was a great experience, honestly. That was my first time playing a tournament in the USXBL series. I tried out for Fit in the off season, and I played at Fit, so I was a little familiar with the turf and everything. But the format and the series that Mike Hinman runs it's a tight ship, and I didn't hear anyone complaining about the series at all. I had a great experience with it. It was great connecting with people that are like familiar faces, and I think it's a really, really good series. And I think what Mike Hinman and the team's doing is really great, and I can't wait to play their series in like WC and a couple more USXBLs if they let me.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I mean, I know your points are pretty high, so unless
Yeah,
Gulf Coast keeps it up and is able to make that expensive fly out to Dallas or to San Antonio. But yeah, it's definitely a great experience. And just to highlight one of your son, as you put it earlier in the
there
episode
he
here,
is.
Cyrus. Yeah. So what's up, Cyrus? Welcome in. Then you've got another friend here, Jonathan Turner, Jet for President. Oh, like I love the marker setup and the mask on the profile picture. Very
Yeah,
nice.
he was one of the silverback gorillas on my team.
Love it.
Yeah.
All right. So this next question is brought to us by Jared Sherman, formerly of Austin Notorious, and his website texanhemp.com. So you were selected as the MVP for your team. So do you think it was like your general performance throughout the weekend, or was it a specific moment that earned you the nod?
I think MVP performances, besides like finals, like MVPs for pros, they're all consistent based. So I don't think it was one specific moment or a couple of specific moments. It was more so like um, a general award, and that doesn't just come from being in the pits or being on the field. It comes from like the energy you bring to the pits and how well you motivate your team and how level-headed you keep them and how well you can adapt to different things. So I don't think it was a couple specific things to nitpick.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, just to Cyrus help keeping your ego in chat. Yeah. From when we were watching your games, from what I saw, like you were basically running around doing whatever you wanted on that field. And I felt like starting in the back center, some of the points, but also like just being able to take over the attack, recognize like, hey, I can just go win this point right now. Like that was a huge part of your performance, which I figured like by the end of prelims that you were going to be the MVP if your team ended up winning the whole thing, which you did. You've got Nestor, another one of your teammates here in the chat. What's up, Nestor? Yeah.
We played against him a couple times.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I remember. He was the one I was like, there's the guy in the Tambini. We got to get him off the field, please.
Yeah,
Shoot this man
for sure.
Yeah.
Love that guy. But I mean, it's my first time playing a blind layout, I think, and it's a really interesting concept. Definitely the hardest thing to do is like quickly adapting to the field and knowing how to read it better, like a little faster than the other teams. And I think that's the biggest factor in generating success, because if you don't catch on to the little things, then you just fall behind and people exploit those factors, and those things go a long way into winning.
For sure, especially in Division 3 where it's Mercy 4, like you really don't have too many mistakes to make before you find yourself on the edge of getting 4-0'd or losing by that 4. Which I know for you guys having Cyrus as your coach in the pits, not only is he like obviously the World Cup MVP of the pro division, but someone that you are familiar with, like him being from Florida, playing with Dynamic. Like how was that having that sort of expertise behind you guys?
It was huge. Cyrus brings a great tool to the team. He actually used to play for Ragtag, so that's how they were all connected, because he's a Florida boy. So it all meshed perfectly, and Cyrus was like the main reason why I played with him. And he's a great coach. Um, he was able to lead our team pretty well and keep us level-headed, and he gave people the boring jobs, which were probably the most crucial, and he put everyone in the right spot that needed to be played. And even like with people in the pits, he made sure that they weren't like begging for playing time, and everyone understood their role in the team just because he was able to keep them in their positions. So everyone played a role, and Cyrus was definitely one of those.
Yeah, for sure. All right. So this question is one that I kind of ask everybody that comes on the show. So throughout your entire playing career, do you have a single favorite moment so far?
A single favorite moment, probably winning cup back to back in 2019 and 2020. That was a pretty great moment, because not many people can say they win cup, but winning cup back to back is something that's very special in my heart. And doing it with some of my best friends is also a moment that I'll never forget.
Yeah. Yeah. Not many people can say that they've won cup. Definitely a great moment. So kind of moving to your career this season. So this one's brought to us by 71 Designs. So this season or this past off season, yourself along with a couple of other players on Dynamic joined up with Shock's semi-pro team that they created. So what was it that inspired the move?
Um, I mean, Aftershock is a legendary organization in paintball. Everyone knows them when you think about them. The main thing that sparked our interest was their connections in the paintball community. I mean, networking is everything in paintball. So the fact that they can bring so much help and so much knowledge and assistance with the team is huge. And it's not like we're just under Shock. It's we get tutor mentorship from Aftershock. We get to learn from Todd Adamson and all the pros, and it's honestly being with them and them absorbing us and taking us under their wing is huge for us. And any little thing that you can grab in paintball is what takes you a mile away.
Yeah, for sure. It was definitely a huge opportunity for anybody that lived in Florida that was around Todd Adamson and his camp. Yeah, I know that Dynamic kind of folded for the most part as a result of it, but it's a huge opportunity to be connected with those names. So, like, tell us more about like the benefits that you've experienced as being a part of the Shock program.
The biggest thing is just being able to be mentored by the people that you look up to in paintball, like people like Connor Kelly or A Rod was just the biggest one for me. Like you just get to pick up so many little nuggets from them, like whether it's big or small, that it helps you grow more than you know, like whether it's subconscious or you're actually like, whoa, that's great information. So being with those guys is amazing. And a lot of people that I learned from are like Todd Adamson. He's a great mind in paintball. He really just cares about everyone that he's close with. and he really wants us to win. And I couldn't thank those people enough. So it's really great being under that program.
Yeah, for sure. I know you guys also, when Aftershock went to Dallas to scrimmage AC Diesel, you guys got to tag along and be part of that scrimmage. So, like, are you regularly getting reps against these pro teams, or?
Yeah, we do regularly get spins around them. Todd was gracious enough to invite us to travel and play against Aftershock and Diesel and Evil, who we played against in the semifinals. Those spins are great, and it really shows who can prove themselves in the pro league once they make that jump. So honestly, we performed very, very well against those guys, and I think we see ourselves practicing against a lot more pro teams in the future, especially against Aftershock.
Yeah, for sure. So another player that ended up on your roster was Thomas Taylor, who ended up making the move after NYX got relegated, and it's looking at like especially the I guess like the ages of your team. You've got a lot of very young talent. You've got multiple players still in their teens, a couple early 20s, and then you've got like Thomas, who's been doing it for such a long time. So, what is it like having this like kind of senior level member who's pretty much done it all in paintball?
I couldn't say enough good things about Thomas, honestly. Nothing but good words about Thomas. I've learned just from this past 2 or 3 weeks that I've been with him, like from the Dallas practice, the layup practice, and the event, and even just being on the phone with him. I've learned so much in that short little time that I know if I just stick with him and people around like Thomas, that I'll just learn so much from. So learning from Thomas is huge in my growth and our team's growth as well. And he's not a very selfish player at all. He wants everyone to win and he picks everyone up. And he's kind of like me in the pits where he always wants high energy. And I felt like I was kind of alone in that department when I was always like trying to like get everyone hyped. So he's there with me and it's like, all right, we're just bouncing off each other. And he's great to have in the pits. And I love playing with that guy.
I love it. All right. So for everybody that's here in the chat, first, again, welcome. Thank you for tuning in. If you have any questions that you want to ask Jet, go ahead and get them in now as we're getting kind of toward the end of our show. So this next question is brought to us by Hydra. So looking ahead, NXL Atlantic City is just over a month away. So how will Shock be getting ready for this next event after having a decent first event in Tampa? You went 2-2. You were just a few point spread away from your first Sunday appearance at your first semi-pro event. So how are you guys getting ready for the next one?
Oh, you don't have to bring up Tampa again. We were literally 1 point away from moving on, and oh, that was so frustrating just looking at the scores, just being updated every time. I was like, oh, that was so frustrating. Anyways, the biggest thing that we're gonna improve on that I'm gonna bring up to the team is just being one-minded. I feel like we were all being pulled away in separate opinions. Like someone wanted to be playing it this way, and someone wanted it a different way. Like we should push the snake harder, or maybe we should push the center more. It doesn't really matter what the idea is. I think the biggest factor is just being on the same page, because having multiple ideas is great, but if you can't pull together those ideas and create one solid system, then there's no recipe for success there. You're just kind of hoping it clicks, and it more likely than not won't. So I think just being on the same page is the biggest thing that we're going to focus on. And obviously more spins, because you can't get better without playing paintball. So those two things.
Absolutely. I mean, you guys have 10 players on your roster right now. At least in Tampa, you had 10 players. Are there any changes going into the next one, or are you still keeping the same core?
We have one guy, Cole Vanthoff, that won't be able to make the next event just for some work reasons. So I'm not sure if we're picking up anyone new. We might stick with 9. We might pick another guy up. We're still in the talks with that, so we're going to figure that out.
All right, fair enough. Yeah, you've got your twin here in the chat. Matt Cup, I love it. All right. So yeah, how about for any local series? I know like you being D1, your points probably limit your opportunities to play local and regional events, but do you have any other plans to play another one with the Gulf Coast Ragtag Army, or what does your outside of the NXL look like for the rest of the year?
Well, not to beat ourselves up, but we didn't make any Sundays last season in semi-pro just because we were pulled away from like getting picked apart with like different pro teams and things like that. So it was hard to like really make Sundays in that aspect. But so my points are technically still low enough to play regional events like MVPS and USXBL. So I still plan on playing every single MVPS if I can, and USXBL is great. So I do want to play those as much as possible with Ragtag because I'm pretty sure I can still play the next one. But I think it interferes with like MVPS practice. But if I can get off for that, then I might play. We'll see. And I still want to play the WC as well, like whether it's the I don't know what they call it, the Premier Division or something.
Hmm.
Like I can play that too, which
Are you
sounds
going to
really
be
fun.
going to this first WC here in 2 weeks?
The first one in 2 weeks? No, I'll be. I think I'll be at the wedding
Okay,
in Bolivia, so I won't be able to make it,
got it.
unfortunately.
All righty. Yeah, you've got some teammates in the chat. Jonathan Turner says you're for sure playing, so I guess that settles it.
Okay, alrighty. Well, I guess I don't have a say in that.
All right,
I'll just be there.
you got it. All right, so I think that just about does it. Final call for anybody who's wanting to get a question in there for Jet. So this one is one that I ask everybody that comes on the show. It's brought to us by Get Dat Shot, who is a NXL Pro Media. I believe currently he's working for HK Army on the pro field. So message him at getdat_shot on Instagram if you're needing media coverage at the upcoming NXL Atlantic City major. So Jet, this question kind of helps me keep tabs on anybody that's an up and comer or flying under the radar out there within the paintball community. So, is there anybody in paintball? It could be a team, it could be an individual player, could be a brand, could be a community member that you believe deserves more recognition for what they're doing.
I'm not going to dive into any players specifically, but I think a brand that deserves a lot of recognition without bias is G1 Paintball. They're sponsored by, or they sponsor Aftershock, but Speedy and his whole company, it's really great. I wasn't really familiar with their products at first, but just being around it, they make really good quality stuff, and I actually really like their products. So that's one sponsorship to look at. I really like those guys.
All right. All right. So shout out to G1 Paintball. So yeah, it looks like we don't have any other questions here in the chat. So we're going to close it out. So Jet, thank you again for coming on the show. Congratulations again on your win at USXBL this past weekend. I know all of the Texas teams are hurting that the gold medal had to leave the state, but I hope it's some motivation for the next one. So
Yeah, anytime I'm there, it'll happen again, whether I have to play you or whoever else. So I got to come in with that mentality.
Yeah, absolutely. You gotta go in there, earn every point for sure. Yeah. So yeah, Jet, thank you so much for your time. Do you have any last shout outs or things you'd like to say before we sign off?
I just want to thank all the people that have brought me up into this paintball community, especially like Brandon or Cyrus and Todd Adamson and Tyler Stansel. Those people are huge in my paintball career, and I'll never stop thanking those guys for everything they've done for me. Whether it's like picking me up from the airport because I travel every weekend to Florida because I actually live in Atlanta. So them picking me up to practice is huge. Or like couch hopping and things like that. So those things I'll always be thankful for, and they really look out for me, and I have their back just the same. So
All right, love it. So yeah, I think that just about does it for our show. Jet, thank you again, and everybody here on the Major League Paintball channel, thank you so much for tuning in. Be sure to go follow Jet at PBXJet on Instagram. What other guests would you like to see on the show? Be sure to leave a comment down below. And while you're at it, hit that subscribe button. The show goes live Wednesday evenings here at 7:30 p.m. usually here on youtube.com/Major League Paintball. And recordings are posted to YouTube, Amazon, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify the next day. Except next week's episode will be on Tuesday night. So just a heads up now, next week's episode will be Tuesday, not Wednesday. I do want to give a shout out to my partner and sponsor tier subscribers on Patreon. Get That Shot, Paintball Kumite, Them Raps, Hydra, XTPL Events, Mariachi Aguilas de Oro, the San Antonio 3v3 series, 71 Designs, TexanHemp.com, QBRofficial.com, and our newest show sponsor, Splat Zone Trinity 3-man series. So we will see you guys next week for episode 139, where we're going to have Andre Ramos, who is the new rookie player for Houston Heat. So we will see you guys then. Jet, thank you so much.